Good morning, it's Harvey Jackson. I'm just going to go through a couple of the major news items and what's maybe affecting the market here this morning. Uh, so first off, favorable weather seems to be, or at least the forecast, it seems to be maybe speeding up the possibility that we're going to get some favorable weather for planting. Uh, here's just a quick reminder where the winter wheat is actually grown, what areas, and you can see there Kansas, Oklahoma, and northern Texas is pretty important. Um, and this is just a graphic that I got grabbed from the uh, egg dash X website, and you can see that it's favorable potential to get some planting done in this area, but there is some slight rains that are going to be hitting some of these areas as well, depending on which weather model you look at. Now, so the 8 to 14-day precipitation outlook is putting moisture into this area, but below up here where a lot of the planting needs to get started. And it looks the same on the 3 to 4 week outlook. And then as planting commences, it's going to push some moisture into those areas too. Getting the moisture after planting is always ideal. So when you look at the European model, just a graphic of how the moisture is coming in, and it looks like it's going to be significant enough. Bessent in China, Bessent made some comments yesterday that there could be significant decreases in the tariffs, and I'm just wondering if China is even interested in any tariff at all. What's going to bring them to the table, and it's going to take a fair bit. And this tit for tat, increasing tariffs up to the 145 and 125, they're just not going to be buying, plain and simple. I was talking to a friend of mine there. He heard that the Chinese ships are just avoiding going to U.S. Ports, and there has been some that they're threatening to charge the $1.5 million for a docking fee, and they just turned around and left. Even though I've heard rhetoric or some reports saying that might be even waived for a little bit until they come to the table, but it's still not going to encourage them, that's for sure. Karen Braun wrote this article, and it's talking about how the grains have dropped off, and how the oil seeds is in the red has picked up, and just some of the numbers are just pretty stark here. So this area right here, it's saying Ukraine has exported more than 80% of its annual corn crop and 75% of its wheat crop. For comparison, of the same figures for the United States at 16 and 45 respectively. So that kind of just tells you how export market that one is versus even the U.S. U.S. is the high-priced island and hard to get the product out because other lower-priced sellers are out there in the rest of the world. And Canada does get an edge on that as well because our Canadian dollar is not at parity to the U.S. That's for sure. Palm oil futures kind of flat, but when you look at the chart, it doesn't look flat. It's still trying to catch a bid, and it's finding some buying interest. And amazing, when prices go down, you find buyers. Um, Three more Russian insurers seek India okay to cover for oil tankers. India has been a strong buyer of the Russian oil. Obviously this is going to be maybe a leverage point for U.S. and India to continue talking here too, because hey, you can buy cheap oil from somebody else rather than Russia, and don't insure there. There's been a lot of pressure on how just the cost of shipping and stuff like that, and U.S. is probably going to apply some pressure on India for that as well. So canola is slightly up. Rapeseed was slightly up as well. Soybean oil is up as well, kind of helping out the whole canola complex there. Crude oil up again, and West Texas or the New York Harbor diesel fuel is up. Soybeans are up 6 3/4, and your wheats are 2 cents to a cent lower, and your milling wheat is a little bit higher. Corn is 2.5 cents higher as well. Canadian dollar just up slightly as well. So if we're looking at the chart here, we're hitting these areas where we've been to before, and if we slid back the chart a little bit more, it would actually show another couple of other peaks up back here farther. This is still technically a area that should be sold for the growers that do have this position on. We're looking at 698 entry or exit on on the recommendation from Kyle. Now here's your November canola, and you can see getting into this range. We're not quite in it yet, but if we're getting into this range, should be probably a sell of some fraction of your crop here, just because of the technicals that it's showing up here. The differential between European rapeseed and canola was $137 as I took this screenshot. And you can see that the European canola has fallen off. And that's probably just due to good growing conditions, as they showed in that graphic where moisture is kind of hitting all of Europe. Soybean oil, it's got pretty good lift here. We're trying to get to that 49 cent level, and if we continue to push through there, we're gonna make higher highs. And you would expect that canola probably could push maybe above that 685 kind of July level, and if it pushes through there, we're going a little bit higher. It's just how far will the soybean oil take us? Here's soybeans. Nice lift here as well. Good support there. But the palm oil is actually trying to find some demand, and it did exactly the same thing back here when we were a couple of months ago. Found demand, and then tapers off demand as it gets higher price. Here's your crude oil futures. It's gained some favor back, up again today. Canadian dollar. I have my upper level target just about here somewhere. It looks like it's not. It's kind of losing some favor and approaching some of those short-term moving averages there as well. So quick look at wheat, faltering along with corn and all the other cereal complexes. But you can see here, this is your Kansas breaking through lower. That could be just a fact of good growing conditions that we're seeing, and poor exports, of course, as well. But corn planting pace, putting some pressure on there, and expecting planting pace to continue. But that crop is still going to be tight, even with their 94 million acres getting planted or expected to get planted. So live cattle futures, we're back to approaching these highs here. We actually had a little bit of a length in the candle to blow through and make a new high. And then in your feeder cattle, we're getting to those higher values again. It doesn't seem to have any effect on demand here. So, and that's all I have for you today.